Okay, so now we're in the cavity, and what we've got here are the pickup wires from the neck, the pickup wires from the bridge, and the bridge ground wire. And the red ones are power supply up to the pickups, so we'll treat those differently than the white ones. The white ones are the signal as it comes out of the pickups. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do, or the thing I'd like to tackle first, is even though the mic pope is a completely modular and solderless system, and same for the EMGs, they don't actually interconnect together. It would certainly be nice if they would, but there is no industry-wide standardization of these types of connectors. The pickup connections on the mic pope are done by a little terminal strip with screw-down terminals, and I'm going to need to have bare wires. So I'm going to try to make use of as much of the cable length that I can get off the EMGs. So those might actually work fine. Let's see if those fit. Yeah, that'll be fine. So that's actually a pretty good way to do this. And you just cut the EMG plastic connector just about in half, and then what you've got is actually the crimped on connections left over from half of the EMG connector, and they're going to slip right into the mic pope. So that takes care of that. Supplying power to the EMGs with the mic pope is going to be done via the auxiliary power on the mic pope board, and there's just one, and I've got two power wires to attach there. I could use the summing block that EMG provides, but I think I'm just going to do a soldered connection instead, where basically I'm going to cut them both to the same length like this, and I'm going to save the longer cut piece, and then I'm going to strip a little bit off of each one. It's actually slightly generous because I can trim it after I get them twisted together. And then like this, and like this, and just trim so that it's tidy, just like that. Piece of heat shrink tubing to protect it, keep it from touching, keep the splice from touching other components. There. Now that has prepped up all of the wires. So the other things that I'll want to do is I could probably just lose a little bit of length off of each one of these, so that's probably just a little excessive, and then prep them for the preamp by stripping each one. And I think the first component I want to install is going to be the jack. Insert it into the hole that it mounts in, and then add the retaining nut. And put that together just like that. Give it a little tighten, because you don't want that part to be loose. With our 14mm wrench. And there, and that's really everything in place that we need to start getting the preamp in there. And I'm gonna start off by making all connections at the terminal strip. So looking at the preamp, the board that has the blender pod on it, which is this is the main set of connections. This little green block here is the terminal strip. It's a whole set of connections for all the various things that you might need to connect in your mic Pope system. We're not going to use all of them, but we're going to use quite a few of them. And it's a little bit easier to make these connections before I get this inside of the base. So I'm going to start making these connections now. So I think this first one is the bridge ground wire. Just like that. And the first set of pickup connections are the bridge pickup, which is this wire. And the very first connection is the bridge ground on the EMG. It's the black connector. And that goes in there just like that. And then you skip one. The very next connector on it is for a coil tap. No coil tapping on EMGs, so we skip that one and we go right straight to the fourth one with the white wire from the bridge pickup. Just like that. And then tighten up with a little screwdriver. And then the next connector will be the ground from the neck pickup. Very next one. Just like that. And then again, skip one, because that's the very next one is the tap wire for the bridge pickup, and we're not using that. And then I think this one needs to get pushed in a little bit farther too. and then check each connection, make sure it's in there securely. And the very last spot on the board is the accessory 9-volt output, and that's where the red wire from the pickups go. There. And then I'm just going to go through the process of getting everything mechanically installed into the base.